The firefighters still battling dozens of fires in the west.
More than 85,000 acres burned.
The worst wildfire season in state history.
Aggressive heat that's taking hold from coast to coast. More than 85 million Americans under heat alerts this morning. Those sweltering temperatures could break more records this weekend.
And to that point, Eva, the tinderbox conditions out in California fueling a wildfire in Mariposa County that exploded in size overnight. As you can see there, entire hillsides engulfed in flames, forcing many people to evacuate their homes. ABC's Alex Brochet has the latest from California.
This morning, the urgent fight to get the upper hand on this dangerous, fast-moving wildfire in California. People reportedly trapped in their home.
7 people in a residence unable to get out. They're stuck in the residence and cannot escape.
Flames moving quickly and intensifying, burning more than 4,300 acres in Mariposa County. The so-called Oak Fire now reaching the Sierra National Forest. The fire sparking Friday afternoon, southwest of Yosemite Park, spreading exponentially within just 1 hour. Firefighting aircraft battling to stop the flames from the skies as firefighters on the ground work the dangerous front lines. Huge clouds of dark smoke rising from entire hillsides.
They're sheltering in place.
The fire leaving buildings in ruin and coming dangerously close to others.
Fire's been coming towards us faster and faster.
Dozens of residents now evacuated in the county's third wildfire in just 2 weeks.
I'm hoping that they're able to get it out before it damages anybody.
Wildfire smoke seeping across the border from Canada, threatening the health of 80 million Americans.
To the haze, that's coming downstream. The thickest haze and smoke is actually during the evening hours, so the air quality is only going down.
More than 400 active wildfires are burning across Canada, half of them still out of control. The giant plumes of smoke rendering New York City's skyline practically invisible. Further north in Syracuse and Rochester, New York, the air quality is even worse.
It smelled like, our neighbors might be having a campfire, and it's just sort of an eerie feeling.
Medical professionals warning the poor air quality is already impacting people.
The immediate health risks are worsening of asthma and worsening of allergy symptoms. It can happen immediately in exposure to this type of air quality.
Can you recall a situation like this in the Northeast or in this area?
This is actually probably the worst I've seen the numbers.
There have been fire in the forests as long as there have been trees to burn. Before humans and their actions could lead to such destructions, natural causes such as lightning has led to fires in the forests. Indians started fires to clear debris to provide better grazing near their favorite camping areas and to dispose bushes and legs from their trail. There are also records and accounts of the Indians starting forest fires to repel an enemy attack. Now, first of all, we will look into how a wildfire actually starts. Naturally caused forest fires are usually started by dry lightning where little to no rain accompanies a stormy weather disturbance. Lightning has caused some of the most notable wildland fire disasters in the western USA. Still, human fire activity is the primary cause of wildfires, with nearly 10 times the start rate of natural starts. Most of these human-caused fires are accidental, usually caused by carelessness of campers, hikers, or others traveling through wildland. Interestingly, certain celebrations have also been a cause of wildfires. Gender reveal parties became popular about a decade ago as a way for new parents to learn the sex of their child in the presence of family and friends. One such party became the cause of El Dorado fire in California. A family used pyrotechnic device to announce the gender of their baby, which ignited 4-foot-tall grass, and from there the fire spread. There are 3 types of forest fires which we will now look into. 1. Crown fires burn trees up their entire length to the top. They spread from tree top to tree top. These are the most intense and dangerous forest fires as they are very difficult to contain. 2. Surface fires burn only surface litter like dried leaves, twigs and grasses. These are the easiest fires to put out and cause the least damage. 3. Ground fires occur in deep accumulations of humus, peat and similar dead vegetation that becomes dry enough to burn. These fires move very slowly but can become difficult to fully put out or suppress. Case study: Australia has faced many destructive wildfires. These wildfires have impacted its flora, fauna, and the people living there. More than 6.3 million hectares of land was burned. Regions along the southern and eastern coast were affected, including Sydney, Melbourne, and the worst affected Victoria and South Wales. The dry summer is one of the reasons the fires were so severe, along with drought conditions. A heat wave occurred during December, which was recorded as one of the hottest summers. Arson was also committed. Approximately 20 people were charged with setting the fires. Over 30 people died and more than 3,000 houses burned down. Roughly 21% of forests of the continent were affected. Approximately 500 million animals were affected. It is estimated that some of these species may become extinct as the fire wiped out many region-specific animals. Responses: military assistance such as cruisers for firefighting helped to control the situation. Over 2,000 firefighters warred in New South Wales and thousands of volunteers came forward to help. Australia's police, navy, military was involved in evacuation and rescue. Foreign aid was affected, with firefighters being sent from New Zealand, Canada, USA. Long-term responses include reviewing building standard in bushfire zones to create resilient homes and larger buffered zones between forest and properties. Impact of forest fire: 1. Wildfire emit billion of tons of CO2 into the atmosphere, which causes harm to climate and living organisms. 2. High-intensity forest fire destroy flora and fauna. 3. It nose down the small shrubs and grasses, leading to landslides and soil erosion. 4. It leads to destruction and damage of life and property. Many people lose their houses because of such disasters. According to the U.S. National Park Service, almost 85% of all wildfires are started by people. Whether it be a campfire someone turned their back on, a dropped cigarette, arson, or a mechanical failure, people start an average of over 60,000 wildfires in the U.S. every year that burn an average of 2.4 million acres of land. Historically, low-intensity wildfires occurred naturally to clear out underbrush and restore nutrients back into the ecosystem, creating fertile earth for new vegetation to grow and that allowed wildlife to flourish. However, in the late 1800s, fire suppression became a far more popular tactic than controlled burns. By not allowing smaller fires to burn, underbrush and/or decaying material that would have otherwise been cleared are allowed to build up, acting as fuel for any potential wildfire that may crop up. While wildfires are generally a normal part of chaparral-covered areas, in recent years California wildfires have become a more significant threat. Out of the 10 most massive wildfires California has ever seen, 9 of them have been in the last 16 years.
On the fire from above,
why?
While firefighters
you guessed it, climate change. The fire burned through nearly 100,000 acres of land, destroyed over 1,600 structures, killed 3 people, wounding 5, and resulted in the evacuation of around 300,000 people. The wildfire burned until November 21st and creates $6 billion worth of damages.
I have 2 children. Fast-moving fire is gaining ground to the southwest of Yosemite National Park. It began with
forest fires pose a serious threat to our environment and biodiversity. Understanding their impacts, causes, and implementing effective strategies for prevention and control is crucial for prevention of our forests and the planet at large. This project also highlights how human activities are a major cause of forest fires. Our carelessness affects other living organisms. Loss of wildlife during forest fires is another concern and one more problem we need to solve. Animal shelters, rescue missions would help in the time of distress. To wind up, the causes of wildfires are complex, but the effects are unbearable.